Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando. Hello everyone, welcome to Dice Commando and the Commando Cast. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. So I want to do something a little bit different today. Instead of talking strictly about Destiny the whole time, instead I want to do a little bit of speculation on some upcoming products from FFG with the Gen Con stream coming this week, and what the impact of said product announcement may or may not mean for Star Wars Destiny. Hey guys, so welcome back. Thank you for joining me this morning. I know this is kind of an off-cycle cast, but in 3 days we have the Gen Con quote-unquote announcements of FFG's kind of their in-flight report, right? So we know that this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, they're going to be doing their what they call their in-flight report, which is basically FFG's kind of product showcase that they normally would have done for people at Gen Con, right? And go to like a panel discussion, stuff like that, and just basically go to their product showcase, really is the best way to say it. Typically every year they not only give status updates on their existing games and more product in the pipeline for those, but this is generally where they do their big announcements for kind of their new product as well. And how do we know there's new product coming? I mean, it's showing it right here, right? So their FFG live on Twitch, July 31st. There you can see unannounced product number 1, unboxing of a brand new announcement. So as you would expect, they're going to be announcing new product. Actually, I take that back. We didn't necessarily expect it. I know that even kind of myself, we'd talked earlier, it's like, well, is this a good year to release a new product? Do you maybe delay it? I think that was reasonable speculation. I think that was a reasonable question. And I think it still is a reasonable question and reasonable argument. But the reason I mean, obviously we're getting it because they're announcing it. But I think the reason that it makes more sense to go ahead and do it is because back in March and April, when we were thinking that, the fallout of this whole COVID pandemic thing was going to be, on the order of 4 to 5 months with a really hard time in Q3, the argument, and then, in theory, I think back then we were all thinking that maybe by the end of the year we could be back to some sort of normalcy. At this point in time, and, even like a month and a half ago, I think it became pretty clear that that wasn't going to be the case. We're going to be in this for a long time. So at that point, yeah, it doesn't really make sense because what are companies supposed to do? Just not do anything for 2 years, right? That's of course not going to happen. So obviously this is coming. Okay, so with that said, why do I think this product matters for Destiny at all? I highly suspect the thesis statement is I suspect that this is going to be some sort of Star Wars related product, and I think it's going to be in some fashion a card game. Right now, do I think it's going to be a competitive card game? No, I do not. Do I think it's going to follow more of an LCG type model? Yes. I have my sneaking suspicions it's going to be like a board game type mix, where there's going to be some sort of card base, but it may also be a board game as well. And I also have sneaking suspicions that it's going to be cooperative, mostly due to the success of Marvel Champions, but also for another reason I'm going to get into. However, right, the Marvel Champions thing, granted, has only been out for a short time, relatively, and we know that these products are in development for multiple years before they actually get announced. So to assume that it's going to be a cooperative game strictly based on the success of Marvel Champions is probably not accurate. However, when I look at their product lines like Arkham Horror, for example, that has been successful for a long time in just the constant LCG model, I mean, that's a good, steady product stream for them. So I believe that's more where they're going to go with this. But again, I'm relatively certain this is going to be a card-based in some fashion. And I believe that the next let me follow that up with, I believe the next Star Wars product announced will be a card game in some fashion. It just makes sense. They still have the card game license. They're not doing anything with it with Destiny. It doesn't take a tactical genius to figure out that they're going to do something card related, right? They have the license. So to that end, take a quick break here, and I want to go to a video. This was actually just before the pandemic hit. This was Gamma back in, I think it was March. This is a Team Covenant interview with basically the big guy over at Asmodee North America, specifically talking about the future of Star Wars games coming.
What you would say, though, it sounds like what you're saying is that the future of Star Wars and tabletop could well be very bright.
Oh, I can talk about that for a while if you
want.
want.
All right, yeah, I would love to talk about it.
There's, like I said...
I don't want to pin you into it, but let's do it.
Right.
Yeah, Star Wars.
So, it's just us, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is not being filmed or posted anywhere.
Like I said, we turned in about a month ago, I want to say.
You said through 2023.
Through 2023, product plan for Legion, X-Wing, Armada, and they came back definitively saying this is the best product plan we've seen out of FFG ever, right? There's also big plans on the board and card game side. Not going to talk about those too much today.
But there are plans.
But there are plans, yep.
That's enough. We can survive the desert on that one.
All right, so all of that's great. I think it, in no uncertain terms, indicates that product is coming in the future. But why do I think that this announcement is going to be Star Wars related? A, because I'm hoping it will be, right? But B, like what's making me say that, right? Destiny just got killed. If they just started up a new game, is there enough time? The answer to that would be no, if they started developing the game after they killed Destiny. But I don't think that's the case. So I want to kind of run through some of my evidence to why I'm saying that, right? So first off, remember there were reports in it was actually like late spring, early summer of 2019, so basically a little more than a year ago at this point, that set 10 testing had wrapped up and set 11 testing had not started, right? We'd been getting reports from multiple different venues, people talking who probably shouldn't have been, whatever. But there was a lot of concern, remember, at the time that, man, this next set hasn't started playtesting yet. What does that mean? So no start of set 11 there, right? What was going on? What were they doing, right? So if they stopped set 11, it means they probably knew that they were going to kill Destiny back then. But if they were going to kill Destiny, that's what I'm saying is I think that there was another product they were already working on to backfill that. You also combine that with the fact that there was no Force Friday product. And there were rumors leading into Force Friday that there was going to be a Destiny product for it. There were even more rumors after Force Friday what that product was going to be. And then last week on the Facebook page, there were some more obvious statements of what that product would have been. I'm not going to speak to that here because I don't want to get in trouble. But I think the majority of people know what I'm talking about there, right? So, and to build on that, right, this was given away as a gift to people at Worlds last year. It featured prominently Luke and Vader on the box, which was kind of odd considering that they're really FFG's champion at the time was the Reylo stuff. So that was interesting as well, which had kind of hinted at something coming in the future. And then we didn't end up seeing either of these in covert missions. We had that product in the backlog. We had that product that was in the backlog already developed was killed or not released for whatever reason. We had set 11 not starting. So really what was going on here, and I think there was more to it than just the death of Destiny, because I don't think they would have killed any income stream that was actually making money unless they had something else to go with it for the license. I mean, you don't have that license unless you want to do something with it, right? And then I think the bigger thing for me is people at Worlds came back, they were talking to Jeremy, and Jeremy had mentioned that he was spending a lot of his time on Arkham Horror, which I thought was interesting from the get-go, because I didn't really buy it. So I'm not saying he's lying. Like, he may have very well been spending time on Arkham Horror, right? But why do you have one of your lead designers for a different game going in and helping out on an already very developed game system, unless A, they're learning the ropes, B, they're taking over for someone, which hasn't been the case, at least that we've seen, and C, maybe that's the cover for something else, right? So that's basically my suspect, is that I think Jeremy had been repurposed to working on super secret product whatever, and was putting his time in there, because again, I just don't see Arkham Horror being a place where you put a high, like, it's very developed. I just don't see that having a lot of value unless he's like taking over the project, which we know he hasn't. So that kind of aside from the kind of the history of the death of Destiny, which is basically just what we went through, the reason I bring that up is because it's really just a resource thing for them, right? They're still doing stuff. They are looking forward. I mean, FFG looks forward years in advance to these products to get them developed and get them out and get them ready for us to throw our money at. So with that, you combine kind of the indications for the interview with kind of the timeline of the death of Destiny, and I think that there's been enough time, right? That's really what I'm getting to, is I think that there's been enough time of FFG not putting resources into Destiny to have developed another Star Wars product within that same time frame, right? And then the big thing coming out of that is, of course, Disney likes our portfolio. They think our portfolio is very strong. I mean, that was a quote directly from there. So that is why I think that a Star Wars Destiny product, a Star Wars product in some form of a card game, board card game mix, LCG, expansion model, whatever it may be, I think that we have a Star Wars product headed our way here very shortly. And we'll see on Wednesday if I'm right, if I'm wrong, maybe not. So let's say I'm right. Let's move on to the Star Wars Destiny part of it. What do I think will the impact be of a new Star Wars product hitting the market? What's going to happen, is, if you guys recall Commando Cast 100, I kind of broke the community down into different sections. And what I largely suspect will happen will be the bulk of the participatory community will exit and they will go to the new sexy. And you will also have, everybody will go check it out and we'll look at it, right? Despite all of the, past comments on I'll never buy FFG and stuff, whatever, everyone will forget. Combine that with the love that everybody has for FFG right now because they just released Transformations, and the timing of that, I think, is suspicious. Like, I think they kind of threw it out to try to make everybody forget, and kind of remind everybody, hey, FFG is amazing, come love us. So I think the pump is primed there for that. So as those people exit, the advantage we have from a Destiny standpoint is that there's no conflict of monetary resources, right? People don't need to choose, for the most part, whether to put money into Star Wars Destiny or the new game, right? So that's an advantage we have, is that people can really continue to support both games. But from a time standpoint, we all see what happens when the new sexy comes out, right? People are going to want to be investing in this new, investing their time, participating, getting to know this new product, right? That's where going to be a lot of the energy is, right? You're going to see 15 new content creators pop up within a week, all sorts of content there. You may see content creators that even exist cover it. We will put effort into covering some sort of new Star Wars game, at least to just initially talk about it, right? So that will be taking my energy away, right? And it won't be the only people. So that's kind of the negative impact. And it's not really all that negative. Like, it's people, everybody in this community plays multiple games. Well, most people in this community play multiple games. So that's not really the threat. I don't know that there is a threat there, to be honest with you. I also think that there will be some good come out of it. Like, let's say we do see a new Star Wars LCG, or even better, we see a co-op LCG. You could potentially be pulling in people from all sorts who could eventually be converted to playing Star Wars Destiny if we can get the game in a good enough place where it looks attractive to new people. So I don't think that the new Star Wars product coming out, if that's what it is, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that if we play it right and if we cross our T's and dot our I's, I think that we could actually be in a good, not a good space, but we could be okay, right? That's what it really boils down to. So I don't know. That's kind of where my head is at. Is that, what will the masses, how will the masses respond, right? Will we, let's say we're already down 60% of the Destiny population. will we get another 50% of those just eggs that never want to look at Destiny again because now they have a new Luke Skywalker to play with? Completely possible. But again, they don't have to spend money on both. And, maybe they sit down and, maybe even if you think about it from a Destiny standpoint, people not only having Destiny as their Star Wars outlet, that might also be a good thing, because then we can just sit down and have fun, and it will be okay to only have one Destiny event every other week or something like that. People won't be constantly hungry for it because they'll have other places to put. Then they can come back and play Destiny. So again, I don't think this is bad at all. It's not good, but it's not bad. Like it's moving forward. It's progress, right? And that's what we need. I mean, if we think that if we have the objective of having Star Wars Destiny last forever, which I hope it does, we're going to have to learn how to get over new product coming. So, I think that this is a good thing for us to take in stride, see how it goes when things are still fresh and strong, and prepare us for the next time it happens, right? So those are kind of my thoughts. If I could be totally wrong on my projection for what I think is going to happen. I just think that there's a lot of logic to having a new Star Wars product coming in some fashion, just because FFG is spending the money on the license, so I wouldn't want to capitalize on it, right? So anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think, you think the impact of the community will be, if any. I don't know. Let me know. So anyway, thanks for joining me this morning. Let's see what happens on Wednesday. If nothing else, go Commando.